Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. Today, I'm honored to introduce Paul Diana. He was born on August 27, 1943, in the vibrant French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana. Growing up in this culturally rich environment, he attended St. Louis Cathedral Elementary School and De La Salle High School before going on to earn a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. So that's coming from LSU, by the way. And again, Paul began his professional career at IBM in Huntsville, Alabama, where he worked on programming the IBM 360 computers. And his career later led him to roles at Shell Oil Company and Mobil Exxon. And in 1992, Paul took a bold step and founded his own business, PC Consultants, where he successfully helped clients with technology solutions. So after retiring in 2010, Paul shifted his focus to something close to his roots, growing mirlitons, a vegetable native to Louisiana, and which he now tends with a great passion. And now he's here with us today to talk about his book, The Commander-in-Chief's Trophy, second edition. So everyone, please help me welcome Paul H. Diana. So Paul, how are we doing today?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm very happy to be here talking with you.
Good to hear that. And by the way, Paul, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the Hive. So, Paul, for all of the people though that are not aware, again, and if you ever, to all of our viewers, if you've been tuning in on our book shoutouts, Paul's book has been flashed a couple of times with the QR code. And if you're curious to know who the author is, and right and behold, the author is here. But before anything else, let's talk to Paul. So Paul, can you please show us your book and tell us, what is this book all about?
Well, I don't know if y'all watched the Army-Navy football game this past weekend. Navy won it, I believe, yeah. Navy then received the Commander-in-Chief's trophy from Army, and they will keep that until Army defeats them in more than one athletic contest. This year, Navy did it. So now the trophy is in the hands of Navy, and Army would love to have it.
Oh.
So throughout the years, it's switched university spots, sometimes at Navy, sometimes at West Point. And the book is about one section of time when Navy had the trophy, but Army wanted to get it. So they plotted a way to take the trophy away from Navy. And the book is about that, how to get that trophy from Navy. Not necessarily legally, but get it and then return it later on. But how were they going to do it? It weighs 270 pounds, and it's kept over. It's kept over when Navy wins. It's kept over on Navy's academy location. So how are you going to get there, get the trophy, and get it back without getting caught?
Oh, and it's more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sensing that there is a sense of like more of a thriller type book, and it has this espionage in it. Can we be expecting it from this book?
Well, there is mystery. That's why I have two endings.
Oh,
there's two endings, and that was a little difficult. How to complete the book and not give away the second ending.
Okay.
So that was a little bit. So we'll see what's going to happen on it. But I don't know how many books give a quiz, but after the first ending, I give a quiz to the reader.
Oh,
you get a quiz on what you read, and then I'll go back. You can't answer everything. If you answer 10, then I did a bad job, because you should not be able to answer some of them. But we go back to help out. I'll reiterate some of the things that they went through with a tinge more of spice in there, and they from that you should be able to figure out what's happening. And it's hard for me to think of the words without slipping and letting the whole thing slide.
Hey, you shouldn't make sure they can give some spoilers though, because again, but thinking about an interactive book, having a quiz at the end, making sure that all your readers would really get that keen attention and trying to discover some things that they haven't read and trying to piece the puzzle for themselves.
Right.
So, Paul, what inspired the idea for your book then?
Well, you're kind of young, but back in the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
the academies were trying to steal each other's mascots.
Oh.
Navy, Army cadets would steal Navy's mascot, and Navy would steal Army mascot, which was a mule.
Hmm.
And I like that. I like that idea. And then that occurred again. I had another article, and that occurred in around 1989. But they kind of
Mm-hmm.
flubbed it. It didn't work too good that time. So my book starts out by presenting what
Okay.
occurred back in the 1950s, and it picks up in the 1980s after the second attempt,
Hmm.
and it goes from there. Except that they decide we're not gonna go after the goat or the or the donkey. We're gonna go after the trophy. So
Oh.
how are you gonna get that trophy? So that's
Hmm.
that's the plan one.
So basically, so the book really stemmed from that idea again,
Yeah.
from stealing mascots. Then again, after that flub, it went into the trophy. Hence the reason that this idea for your book spawned in. Then.
Okay. And then right when I
Hmm.
was I was thinking about it, something happened that wasn't pleasant, and that was Desert Storm.
Oh. Okay.
Well, that's in the 90s, right? 89, 90, Desert Storm. So I placed my cadets in that time period. The book placed it in that time period and figured out how they could use their ingenuity and
Hmm.
in a Desert Storm situation. So I took an actual event, which is Operation Normandy, and I just injected my characters into it. And I
Hmm.
can't tell you much more than that, or I'll be telling you what's going on.
Hey, go. Let's make sure that we can spice things up. No, let's not give too much information because again, if people will be picking up this book, they gotta discover this for
Yeah,
themselves. It's not something that you can just give the information away
right.
immediately. But Paul, coming back with this book though, and also coming from you as well, since you are an author right now. But again, I just want to ask you, and this is something that a lot of authors, though, and authors are considered writers, and writers are also considered authors. But I just want to ask you, what difference do you see between a writer and an author?
Well, actually, I think we're all writers. From the time you
Mm-hmm.
first grade, what do? You start writing.
Mm-hmm.
But now, when you write and you put it in a book, I have too much with writing and publishing books. This is my first one.
Okay.
I am pleasantly surprised when I tell someone that I wrote a book. I get the pat on the shoulder. Well done. They
Yeah.
don't even know what the book's about. But the fact that you wrote a book, you're considered an author, and everybody said, "I wish I would have done that," and
Mm.
it makes you feel good. I don't expect to be a poet laureate, but I would like to write something that people would enjoy. And the whole book has a little contentious
Mm.
background to it. It's trying to do stuff to each other, and here we go.
Go. Good.
Pick me up here.
Don't worry. Again, with the whole thing again. Again, talking. You were saying though that again, everyone can be a writer, but
Yeah,
not a lot of people can be an author. So, talking about you publishing your book is really a tap on the shoulder. Like I did something. A lot of people can write, but not a lot of people who write can have the perseverance and they can push forward in having a published book and making it available. If,
yeah,
am I getting it correctly?
yeah. There's a lot more to publishing a book. I mean, or getting a book out on the market than just
Yeah.
writing a book.
Hmm.
People have to get to know you. They have to hear about it, and they have to hear about it more than once.
True. True. I
Yeah,
agree with that.
I watch my TV, and there's the local grocery, big grocery, which everybody goes to every week. They're advertising on TV with their specials. So
Hmm.
this one author right here called Paul Deanna, he's got an advertise because I think I got a good story to tell, and that they will enjoy. But I got to get it out. Nobody knows it's even out there. Yeah.
But at
In
least
the
right
book,
now. Yeah,
in the
continue.
book, I have sections where I've picked out music from that era, some from 1955, some from 1959, and I picked out songs that I would call "make your feet move," make you want to
Okay.
dance, and I injected into the book at various parts, so that if it was ever made into a movie, you've got story and you got a little entertainment with well-known songs, and I love rhythm and blues, so I inject all that in there. Um,
Oh,
remember Morris Day and what was his band's name? Remember the song "The Bird"? No, it's before your time.
I think it was before my time. Unfortunately, I was
Okay,
born in. Yeah,
uh,
we're talking
oh
about
well.
blues here, right? Blues. But I get the idea where it's coming from. Like things that.
I woke up in the rock and roll era. You know, that was the
Oh.
early '50s. I was a teenager,
Hmm.
so I loved anything that could make my feet move. I loved, and even today, which I don't feel I'm part of the new music, but if it makes my feet move, I like that song.
Oh, okay. I think I could agree with you that anything that can make your body move is like a good
Yeah,
music, good tune. And
I can't
you
name any
enter.
of the authors. I can't name the authors, but anyway.
But okay, but coming back with the whole thing. But Paul, one more thing though. Again, because again, we're talking about writers and being an author. You interjecting your ideas, getting the book out there, making sure that it's in there.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, when did you really realize that you could call yourself that you are a writer? Like, when was the first time you started to decide, like, hey, I'm a writer, I can write a book?
Okay. Well, when I would read about something in the paper
Hmm.
relevant to my book here, it wasn't a book; it was notes, just scribble
Okay.
scratch, and I throw it in my file. Throw it in my file. Then along came COVID.
Oh.
I couldn't go out to work. I had to just sit home. So
Hmm.
my wife said, "Start cleaning up the office." So I started cleaning the office. And, oh, look at this one. Read the article. I like that. I like this. I like that. Then I'm sitting back and thinking, wait a minute. I can make a storyline out of this. And I did. And I used my computer experience in doing it. And when you write a computer program, you write it in not all as one big single row of code, but in
Hmm.
various subroutines, little pockets of information. So I started divvying up all of this information into little pockets of information and sliding them around so that I could have um, a, an attempt to
Yeah.
steal the goat in 1955, attempt to
Hmm.
steal the goat in 1989, and then the decision by the cadets to try and steal the trophy right next
Oh.
to it in 1990. And all these little pockets of information. And how do you get from here to there? It's another little pocket of information. And when I got that, I wanted to put in a lot of notes. So I started writing it into a book.
Okay.
And then after when I got it all done, I said, "What am I gonna do with it now?" I said, "Let's give it a try." But
Let's
it's
put.
very light tone, very light tone. And if it's a movie, I would categorize it in. Remember the movie with called Stripes?
Wait. That
Bill
movie's
Murray.
familiar. Hold on.
They
Bill
were all
Murray.
cadets. John
Uh,
Candy.
I forgot. But I do remember. I do remember a war movie with Bill Murray. Oh, hold on. I really can't remember the name of the
All
movie.
right, I'm glad.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Because again, I've seen a lot of war movies as well. Like there's
It's more an adventure movie. They have a
yeah.
special UV that's supposed to be a combat vehicle, and they use it to pick up girls. And then they get
Oh,
called into action in Romania, and then they get captured, and the vehicle gets them out of Romania. But it was all lighthearted because these are all comedians.
of
And
course.
then besides,
But
let's see, there was one other thing in there. They have songs. They had good songs in that movie, and that's what I hope to have interjected into the book. If they make it into a movie, would be they would play certain songs. And at the end of the movie, I really like the end as a separate entity in itself, and that would be everybody that participated in the movie would have a little
Hmm.
dance routine at the end.
Okay.
You know, you
Yeah. So.
one of the movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger where they get Shorty, you
Hmm.
know that from Shorty.
Because
It's about
here's the thing.
people trying to break into the music business, and at the end,
There.
all the
Okay.
characters, John Travolta's in it. All the characters dance at the end, whether you're the cameraman, the cleanup guy, one of the stars. They all, and you can see everybody's style. That in itself, when I saw it in the movie, everybody in
Hmm.
this place was dancing, and all the people that paid money to get in, me included, up there with wild dancing. And I said,
Hmm.
"Can you go up that into the book?" And I did. So at the end,
Oh.
but that's at the second ending, not the first ending. The first ending ain't no dancing.
Okay. 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 Let's
You
not.
got to get to the second.
Let's not give too much information away about the book. But yeah, going back with the book, the title though, yeah, again, Stripes. Bill Murray is the yeah. Bill Murray was the
John
protagonist. Yeah, the
Candy.
title is really Stripes. That was the title of the book, the movie.
Yeah.
Stripes. It is. There, got it. Don't worry, I'll try to refresh my memory because it's been a while since I've been checking out some movies as well. But again, coming back to the idea of the book, and again going back with how you start writing it, pockets of information, trying to interconnect them, and trying to add that personal touch of what you really like, which is what I can say is your personality as a writer injected onto that book, which is something that people can look forward to. So, Paul, one thing that also, because again, there are going to be some people who would be interested to get your book and people who would love to see what your book can have, especially that you talk that there are two endings that they should be expecting at this book. So tell me, what should be your future readers be expecting once they'll get a copy of your book then?
Well, it's when they get a copy and one of their friends gets a copy. And that way they
Oh.
can challenge each other, first of all, to who can
Hmm.
answer the 10 questions. Second,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Second, they can start making comments about various things that occur in there and,
Hmm.
and say, what a dodo bird that guy was. Or that was cool that they did this, that, and the other. And overall light, overall
Hmm.
light. Nothing really heavy.
Hmm. Love that. Love that. And it's something as well. It's in more of an interactive thing. Like you can read the book, you can fall in love with characters, you can love some stories.
I
You,
hope you come up with a smile.
that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Okay, and you know what? Paul. Again, coming back with this book again, and again to all of our viewers though and book lovers, if you want to know more about this book, and if you want to see how these endings, if ever you can discover these two alternate endings, all be sure to grab a copy again for Paul's book. That is the Commander in Chief's Trophy, second edition, available through Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and you can also check his website. That's www.pauldianabooks.com. Let me spell that out for you for people. So that's www.pauldianabooks.com. And the beautiful thing about this is Paul's also going to be joining us at the Festival Storytellers. That's going to be January 20 to February 2nd. And Paul, is there anything else that people can expect from you in the future, or any future books that you might be publishing in the future?
Well, we're going to have to see how this one goes. This took a lot of time and energy, and I had a good idea that went out over a long time. I've got some other
Oh,
things about when I grew up in the French Quarter that could be interesting, but
hmm.
I don't know if I could talk about all of those things.
Sure, go away. Because I'm looking at your background as well, and I'm looking at that painting behind you, and I just want to know, yeah, that one, that painting. Like, I just really wanted to go talk about that, and yeah, talking
Okay,
about swaps. Yeah, is it something that you is it a historical art, or was that painted by you?
this is the second painting I ever painted in my own life. I only got two that's worthwhile. The first one, which is around the hall in my house, and this is the second one. I
Oh,
grew up in the French Quarter. One of the guys that I grew up with, Franz Louis Canute August von Heldner, his mother
mm-hmm.
was an artist, and she painted swamp scenes. And I
Oh,
used to just go up there and sit on the floor and watch her paint for hours. And I loved it.
hmm.
And there was an actor by the name of Raymond Burr. You ever remember him?
Raymond
Perry
Burr.
Mason.
Hold on.
Perry Mason.
There are Gary Mason. Hold
That
on.
was on
There
TV.
are.
Perry Mason. He was a lawyer, big guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting on the floor one day and she's painting. Opened up who it is.
Mm-hmm.
With Raymond Burr right there. So I was impressed that she had other celebrities that I didn't know that always came up there. But I love the way she painted. And I wished I could do it. And that's one of them that I painted. And I got one more, like I said, it's on the wall around in the hallway of my house.
Oh, love it. And yeah, I do love the painting though. And again, it's coming from you as well. It's a nice one.
Just when it brings joy to you, that's what counts.
Okay, so you know what? Again, to all of our viewers, though, again, the author. Okay,
I'm getting slow in my equipment.
Sorry, Paul, you were saying something?
I said I'm getting slow, and my equipment's getting slower. This one right here is 1905. This computer, 1905. I don't want to hurt it.
It's more than hey, if the computer is still up and running though, it's still good to go. But again, you know what, Paul? I just want to say though, as we come to the end of today's conversation, I just want to really take a moment and say that thank you very much for joining us and sharing your insights, sharing your thoughts, and also the inspiration and also what your book is all about. And I want to say this: I really appreciate your time. And we are excited to see where this book will take you then in the future. Then, okay? So again,
thank you very much.
Once again, to all of our viewers, again, that's Paul Liana. Feel free to check his book out, available through Amazon and through his website. And to all of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. And always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and your imagination boundless. Then there's going to be two endings. Okay. Always remember that. It can't be one ending, but two endings. Be sure to grab a copy. Okay. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Bye-bye.